My name is Maria, and Remi became my coach about 2 months ago. And the reason I'm here today is just to tell you a little bit more about what it's like to work with Remi and what it has done for me so far. The first time I saw Remi online, I thought to myself, that is my coach. I could relate so much to her cheerfulness, her energy, her way of moving, her way of talking. And so I booked that call immediately, no regrets whatsoever. But when I came to her, I must admit, I was pretty exhausted. I was tired, exhausted. I felt almost empty because I have a very long history of dieting, gaining huge amounts of weight, losing huge amounts of weight, then gaining it all back again and double. I was so convinced that I had heard everything there is to know about these topics. I've heard it all, I've tried it all, I'm about to give up, right? I noticed that when I came to her, I was overthinking food so much, and a feeling that was coming up again and again and again was this fear of losing control, as if food controls me, right? And I must say that Remi challenged all of that in a style that I kind of like referring to as compassionate get real. By this, I mean that Remi has a fantastic sense of humor, very warm, very welcoming, but she's also not afraid to kind of get to the root of things and question your assumptions about things, and even question a bit, your vocabulary around yourself and food and sports and all of that. It's really going deep into that cultural family history or personal history and making sure that what do you understand by this concept, or who told you that this concept had to be exactly like that? And to me, if I had to pinpoint the single most important Remi has done for me that nobody else has ever done, is she took this very big, very overwhelming concept of self love, of loving yourself, and translated that into many, many, many little daily habits that I could do for myself. So much so that slowly, week after week, I found myself thinking those things or doing those things automatically. And I was in shock. I was like, is this how it feels to love yourself? Because I'm feeling it. I'm seeing the difference. So, long story short, the top three results that I got from working with Remi so far, because this is an ongoing journey, I'm still working with her. Number one is about food. I'm asking more loving, more caring, smarter questions around food that no longer give me that feeling that I'm totally lacking control. I feel so much more at peace with my choices when it comes to food, regardless of what others around me are doing. And that is new to me. Number two is surrounding sports. So I became so much more engaged in movement in general because Remi helped me to question my assumptions around working out and exercise. So now I find myself exercising far more regularly just because of that little tweak in mindset, which of course has consequences in terms of my energy, my mood. So I'm super, super thankful for that. Number three is my mindset. I noticed that where before I used to have very negative self talk and vocabulary around myself and my body, and sometimes just go a whole day without, appreciating how beautiful it is that our bodies work for us, and our bodies are so full and complex and beautiful. And nowadays I notice that at least once, at least twice, I look at myself and I'm like, wow, I'm taking care of myself today. I'm that kind of person, and this came with a lot of questioning, a lot of discussion, a lot of working around little habits. So without any doubts, these three things I take away from my first 2 months with Remi, and a lot more is to come. So, if you have any questions about what it's like to work with Remi, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful day.